And for those of you keeping score at home, this does not add to Darren Woodson's interception total.
No. Or Brett Favre's interception total.
Well, I figured if you could figure out the one, you could figure out the other.
But at this hour,
that's what we're left to.
Dubious.
That's right. That's all we're left with.
Well, Green Bay is left with a trip home, a 2-game losing streak, another road trip next week to St. Louis, and then home games against Chicago and Denver.
Now, the Packers have had 2 3-game road trips in their schedule, but they do get to finish out the majority of the year back home.
Yep.
The friendly confines of the frozen tundra.
3 of the last 4, in fact. Chicago, Denver, Minnesota at home, and then a road game on the 15th of December at Detroit.
And I would assume that about this time of year, the tundra is starting to get a little crispy up there.
Yes.
Meanwhile, all the sure hands are on the field for the onside kick. These kickers are getting so good at this.
Well, the Packers are now in a situation where they need 2 touchdowns.
You need 2 bounces and then have a high bounce.
Yeah. You've got Hendrick kicking it to the 37-yard line, and you've got Darryl Johnston coming up with it to a Moose Serenade. Joe Avisano, special teams. You know, the funny thing about the Cowboys this year, there were 2 very important plays that Avisano special teams created, and both by Herschel Walker. One was a run back in the Monday night game at Philadelphia with the team 1-3. Eagles led 10-0. The vet was going insane, and Herschel had a big run back. Aikman led the team in, and Dallas got back in the game. And last week, there is Walker with a helmet on. He made a tackle against Dexter Carter on a punt return, where if Carter goes into the end zone, and would have without that tackle, San Francisco leads 17-0, and Dallas, well, it's dubious whether they win that game. It's 17-0. The little bitty things that sometimes don't show up can make a season for you.
Well, the Dallas Cowboys are certainly doing their best to reclaim this season. And they are now going to apply the heat in the NFC East.
Big time heat.
7-4, same record as the Eagles. 1 game behind the Redskins. Talk about kudos. How about the job Norv Turner and his staff have done in Washington?
Tremendous.
What a turnaround, taking that ball club.
And what a great
to 8 victories in their first 11 games.
For Terry Allen overcoming those knee problems in Minnesota.
Meanwhile, Favre and the Packers will make it 0-7 in 3.5 seasons in this ballpark. In fact, in the 3 years, 93, 94, 95, when the Packers lost 6 games here, the Cowboys lost a total of 6 games here. The Cowboys were 23-6, and counting postseason in those 3 years here.
And one of the things I think the Packers have lost, as well as the ball game, is some of their swagger. I think this is a team that all of a sudden is being made aware that it has some shortcomings, that some of the personnel they have lost have not been replaced. And one of Mike Holmgren's biggest jobs right now is going to put some of the swagger back in this ball club. This is a club that's not walking and talking quite as loosely as they did earlier in the year, and for good reason.
With his offense, their West Coast offense that needs that high percentage completion. You need your Robert Brooks, and you got to have your Antonio Freemans.
Yep.
You just can't do it.
Oh, they're
young kids.
They're in a pickle.
Well, some teams seem to overcome injuries better than others. I mean, the Cowboys are saying, hey, we don't care about your injuries. Look at what we went through this year.
But they started the year with more good football players than any other team in the league.
And here's the backup, Sherman Williams, for a first down out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
It's plain and simple, guys. That's why the Cowboys have persevered. They started the year with more talent than anybody in the NFL. They had more to give.
And Nate Newton was shaken up on that last play. He's still on his knee, out of bounds near the 10-yard line. There is
Doug
Nate.
Evans comes off limping, Al. Not looking good.
Meanwhile, here's a reminder. You can check out as you look at Evans, the NFL's new internet site. scores, stats, news from around the league, all there on NFL.com.
Well, it's tough to lose a player at any time, but geez, this stage of a ball game, that's the last thing the Packers need, is to see one of their starting cornerbacks come out of the ball game with him looking at his knee.
Yep. Meanwhile, Newton trots off the field. Nate's fine.
Boom, boom. They're picking that up on a seismograph somewhere.
A little shoulder bump from Dion. The Cowboys almost dead at 1-3 and down in Philly on that Monday night in September, and Boniol tonight with 6 field goals.
We're going to kill the ball.
And the Cowboy graph going straight up, and the Green Bay graph the last 2 weeks heading south. As they head to St. Louis, Mike Holmgren will regroup to face the Rams in an ESPN game on Sunday. Cowboys take on the Giants in the Meadowlands on Sunday. We go to Miami Monday. Pittsburgh against Miami. Switzer's team now 7-4 as the clock ticks down. One more play, one more kneel down, and that'll do it. And so they had one timeout left, and they used it. And Evans is going to come back.
Well, that's good.
And Boniol is going to be given an opportunity to kick a 7th field goal. So here's a case where the Cowboys have decided, it's a chance for a record, and let's see if he can do it.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't think Green Bay should take offense to this. I don't view this as, and I'm pretty good about not wanting to rub it in. This is a guy who gets a chance to do something really meaningful. I don't think Green Bay ought to take this the wrong way.
I don't think they should, but I think they will.
Well, that's their prerogative.
29-yard attempt.
They might not have been told it's for a record.
And Boniol kicks it through. They'll figure it out. 7 field goals for Chris tonight. So Jim Bakken was the first to do it. St. Louis against Pittsburgh in '67. Rich Karlish did it in overtime as the Viking against the Rams in '89. And Boniol does it tonight. 5 in the first half and a pair here in the second.
And imagine, now, do we have a fight going on?
Yeah, well, they did take it the wrong way. Reggie White, Michael Irvin, Dion smiling. Michael explaining that, hey man, it's a record. You got to understand.
A whole lot of Green Bay Packers leaving the bench. That's, if I were you guys, I'd be moseying back over towards the sidelines.
Reggie couldn't care less about a record.
No, they're upset about the field goal.
Sure.
Reggie White yelling at the fans in the stands.
Meanwhile, Eugene Robinson, I guess with a sense of history, congratulates Chris.
Sort of. Reggie White is just screaming at the fans in the stands. I think it's best to just head up the tunnel and head home. Something was said. Perry seems to be a little upset. All right, Michael, you can let him go. That's.
I think some of what the minister was directing to the Cowboys bench was directed at Barry Switzer. Michael tell him, that's cool, man. Michael does get agitated, doesn't he?
Eric's saying, hey, Michael, I'll handle it. You know, Michael's going for the photo op.
Well, clearly, if you're the Packers, you don't care about the record books. You don't care about history at this point. You care about getting out of here. You've been beaten. You've been thrashed. And the Cowboys take a timeout.
Well, they've made their own history in a way.
Yep.
Consecutive losses here.
And kick a field goal. 21-6. Dallas. So it ends with some controversy. But it shouldn't diminish the fact that the Cowboys thoroughly dominated and outclassed the Packers tonight. This was no contest.
No, too little. I think that if I was Green Bay, I'd have more important things to get upset about.
35-yard line, Henderson breaks an Alan Campos tackle, and then a fight breaks out, and you could sense this coming at midfield.
Oh, this is really stupid. This is really stupid. And here we go. This is good. This is good. A lot of charities are going to benefit from this. This will make a lot of kids happy for Christmas. A lot of these guys' money is about to be filtered through the NFL office. I hope it felt good.
Well, it's one of those things where this will now become the focal point of a lot of the post-game coverage.
Mike Holmgren is out on the field.
He's right in the middle of it, trying to get his players off the field.
Yeah.
I like that.
What is Brett Favre doing out there? He's over there in the middle of the Dallas Cowboys. Just get in the huddle.
He's trying to make a trade for Michael Irvin.
Take a snap and let's get out of here. It appears that I have underestimated Green Bay's response to that.
So. I wasn't going to bring that up.
Well, do you think it's worth fighting over, Frank?
No. Nothing is in a game.
Well,
particularly when you're small.
Well, this is what started it. Obviously, the Cowboys were totally aware of the fact that Boniol had a chance to tie a record, and then they let him have the opportunity to do it.
Personal foul, 51, Green Bay. Personal foul, 42, Dallas. Ejections, first down.
At least. Charlie Williams and Brian Williams.
I don't know that losing 18-6 against 21-6 when that field goes for an NFL record, I'm not sure that that's not some misspent energy on the part of the Packers.
Well, it's also, I think there's a little bit of a cumulative effect here too, coming down here 7 times and get whipped 7 times.
Well, and I think there's a lot of frustration on the part of the Green Bay defense, because I think if you'd have told those guys, we're not going to allow a touchdown tonight, and oh, by the way, you're still going to lose, I don't think they would have believed that. They didn't allow Dallas to get into the end zone, and they still lost the ball game.
13 seconds remaining. Ball at the 50-yard line. Favre hit as he releases, and it's Mickens at the 32-yard line with 6 seconds remaining.
This game just won't end.
So Aikman, impassive as always.
To be a little frustrated too. The Dallas Cowboys, while they dominated between the 25-yard lines, and that was about it.
Wouldn't it be something if you got down to the tiebreaker and the tiebreaker was best net points, which is like the number 4 thing down?
Yeah, that's pretty far.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Oh, we got a flag.
And Favre launches one that winds up in Richardson.
That baby went all the way up the tunnel.
It did. And Howard Rowe will make the call here.
No time on the clock.
If it's against the defense, i.e. Dallas, the game would continue.
Personal foul, chop block on the offense, penalty refused, game is over.
And that's the way it ends. Well, Switzer and Favre embrace. Barry's team on a roll, 7-4 right now. Mike's team, 2 bumps in the road the last 2 weeks.
Well, Mike Holmgren didn't appear to be interested in any extended conversation.
No.
Well, here you go.
Williams and White after a long night. And so it ends in Irving. 7 field goals by Boniol give Dallas a 21-6 win. Next week, Steelers, Dolphins from Miami. Until then, Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Deerdorf, Lynn Swan. Good night from Irving, Texas.